Coin flip here. That is Josh Roberts flipping. And we've got action here. 2023 Derby City Classic. This is Danny Jensen versus Josh Roberts. Looks like Danny Jensen won the flip. He will have the first break in this race to 3, the 2023 Derby City. My name's Somerfield Habener, coming to you with Reupload Productions. Josh, a pretty well-known one-pocket player, a specialist. Danny, somebody that I don't have much information on, but let's see how he can hold up against Josh. Round 1 action. Round 1 is, let's see here, is day 4 of Derby. So this is day 4, pretty much just banks leading up to this. These tables are finally starting to break in a little bit, but still a little slick. So you'll see some balls slide in, and you'll see some banks respond a little different than you will on your normal bar table. But these players have been banking the ball for a few days now, so it should be pretty well adjusted. Danny having a little pre-consultation. I feel like he's pretty far in. The one pocket break is different for everyone, but this feels pretty far in for me. Does a pretty decent job, but unfortunately that's kind of why it's really easy to leak back to the center of the table, and you really want to be on the right side of the table using that stack to protect your balls. Josh doesn't look like he's got a cut on this unless he wants to play the carom. It doesn't get you much. I think he's going to play this 3 ball. Probably the 3 into the 7, and just kind of stick where he's at here. So he went even lower, opens up the pack, and it's a way better shot than what I had in mind. So he does a great job moving everything. He's just completely turned this break around. And Danny's in trouble. He can see top side of the 7, so he may try to get off the 7 and over behind the 1-3. Maybe not. Maybe he can't see that. Yeah, what a effective shot there from Josh Roberts. It's the kind of stuff that early game just completely changes it and really stacks the deck in your favor. Looks like he's maybe trying to thin off this 14. Yeah, you got to make sure you hit that real thin. You don't want to knock it in front of his hole. But he doesn't sell the 1. Can't cut the 14. Josh does have a free bank on this 4. Yeah, I think what I do here is I bank the 4 ball and run right into the 2. I want to make sure I run into the right side of the 2. So spinning this bank and getting high of the pack. So yeah, protecting that and limiting what Danny can do. He was definitely trying to make that ball. Doesn't fall for him. And yeah, Danny's he's in a tough spot. Josh has threats all over the place. If you can see the high side of the 4, that's what to do. It looks like he might play the 4 into the 14 or the 12 and just sit there. That's a nice shot. Doesn't gain you a lot, but it doesn't cost you anything either. Only thing he really sold here is a bank on the 12 for Josh. The 12 does look like it banks around the 8 ball and comes back at the 14. I don't think he'll shoot that right now because it kind of takes away his little clustered advantage. But that's the only real offensive threat I see here. You can bank the 8 ball also, but that's going to put him up table. Looks like he might thin off the 7 and get behind the pack. Or he might be banking this ball trying to play off something. Yeah. Gosh, that's something I got to work on right there. I love this. It's like getting free lessons. So 2 right on that ball, gets it I mean, out of that unmakeable spot for him, gets it on his side, gets him up table. Very effective shot. Danny taking a good look around the table. Just not too much doing here. Kind of got to kick under this 314 right now. You can try and play off the 15. You can try and play off the 7. But boy, those windows are pretty small. It's real easy to play off the 1, end up scratching. It's really easy to catch the ball too full and end up selling a shot. Looks like that's what he wants to do, though, is off the 15. The way I see that is a lot can go wrong from there, but I don't see a lot going right. Hits it very good and shows what I know, getting the 15 back on his side. Good shot. I don't think it's going to prove to be super, super effective, but, I mean, he did quite a bit with that shot with very little to work with. Josh looking at a 2-railer on the 11. Can play the 1 off the 4 here. Can also play the 1 combo to the 15. It's going to do something to get back on this bottom side of the screen as we see it right now. Yeah, it looks like he's waiting on the shot next door. Oh, he's explaining a 3-foul rule right now. 3-foul rule is in effect here at Derby City. So, but one of the interesting rules about this is 2 players can't be in the negative at once. So, say Josh fouled here and then Danny fouled the next time. It wouldn't be -1 to -1. It would just be 0 to 0. So, in an effort to try and keep these games moving quick, Josh is going to take the 2-railer on the 11. I mean, that's in the back of the hole. If those balls hadn't been there, that ball's in. He does a great job controlling the cue ball. I mean, he's just... It's like he's at batting practice, man. He doesn't even have to think about those balls. So, nice shot. Again, just biding his time at this point. He's in a great position. Just got to kind of keep putting Danny in this tough spot. And eventually you just hope they're going to make a mistake. Let's see what Danny can do. Looks like he might be able to see through to the 7. Ooh. He was trying to catch it thin and get underneath that 14-3. This is exactly what Josh needs. 3 ball next. Oh, plays a 3 off the 7 and didn't want to do that. Oh, that's a bummer. All right. Reassess. That 5-1 is interesting. He's on the wrong side of it right now, but it looks like it might be wired. Just getting up in the stack here. Banking it. Wow, look at that shot. Kind of hopes it doesn't go in. That's insult to injury, the 2 ball getting on top of that. Man. Yeah, he didn't want that ball to go. Hit it too good, though. Almost hung up. Yeah, Danny's... We've got to try and kick this 15 in. If he can generate enough speed on the 5 to hang between the 8-2 and not sell the 1 out, that can work. But boy, that's... Yeah, tough action. That's what he's looking at, is a 5. We got to get right on that 4 ball. Can't let him see the 1 because he can just cut that 1 right into the 15 and run out. 4 ball's the key here. Yeah, and if you're not confident in that, kick this ball in. Again, that ball is deep, though, too. You got to kick that ball good. He kicked it real good. Nice shot there for Danny Jensen, bringing Josh to 3. I don't see much of a shot here for Josh. Just looking at just knocking it up table, getting back in the pack. Good shot. Danny's got a 3-railer. He can definitely 3-rail this 9-ball. If you do that, you got to get back under the pack, though, and probably not worth the risk. That's also the only ball you have on your side. I think he's looking at the 3-railer. So hit this with some low outside, come back around, get out of the way, cue ball. And yeah, you intentionally overhit that ball to make sure you don't sell the bank. But good swing at it. Again, that's taking a risk and swinging for 1, but sometimes that's just what you got to do. All right, banking this 9, going right into the pack, opening things up. Good blend of defensive and offensive chance there. Nice shot. Unfortunately, that might have sold a bank on the 1. And you can kind of control your speed here by drawing into the 10. This is a very makeable shot here for Danny. Take your time on this bank. And take your time making sure you're not going to slip through and disrupt the 5-7 and open up a shot. So, draw right into this 10 ball here. Probably going to knock you into the 5-7, but hopefully you can stay low enough. Hopefully you make this ball and you get your 2 ball next. Can't hit it too hard either. So yeah, you hit that ball half a ball less hard and sitting in front of your pocket. You're in a way better position. Josh looking at banking the 2. I don't know if that's going to be worth it for him. Taking some risks here. He may bank this ball low and try and come off the bottom side of the 1. Just going right into the 1. Just about makes it. I like kicking here. It's not advisable, but I like kicking and trying to clip the thin side of the 1 and hoping I can stay underneath it and protect from the 2 ball. Yeah, can hit that ball hard if you want. You can try and shoot the underside of the 1 and knock it out of there, but I like to protect the bank on the 2 ball using the 1. And it does look like kicking with spin. Tries to hit it hard. Gets the 2 ball low, though, and the 1 ball comes high enough so it's not bankable. That'll do. I don't think Josh is going to try to twist that 2 ball in, although we see more and more players doing that. If that cue ball is a little bit higher, this 2 ball is twistable back in his pocket. Yep. Looks like his 9-12 might be wired up. Might see him bang something over there. Looks like he's just trying to run up table here. Yeah, tying those 2 balls up. Getting up table. Probably trying to protect that 9-12. And just not leave an offensive opportunity. If you can get Josh behind that 9-12, that's where you'd like to leave him. I mean, ideally, if you could thin cut one of these balls and get up there. I don't like thin cutting the 1. You could carry him off the 4. So yeah, catching the backside of that. Disturbs those balls, moves something in his pocket. Unfortunately, not getting there. But you're leaving Josh jacked up. I would think he'd be banking the 4 ball. Does look that way, right at the 2. Hanging it by his hole, protecting the 2 ball. Alright. Got to kick this 2 ball out of there. And you got to make sure you hit it full. You don't want to leak up high enough. This is when you really need a kick and stick. If you leak any higher than that 2 ball, he's going to be banking that 1 at you. Yeah. Unfortunately for Josh, that cluster is getting worse and worse, so the one ball doesn't get you quite as much as it used to. I'm not sure if he'll run around or if he'll just try to draw up kind of at the 10 ball. Okay, so still using both balls. And yeah, just kind of trading positions with those, getting the 4 closer to his hole, leaving the 1 there. Yeah, the bank lanes have been pretty clogged for him. I kind of like kicking the 1 in his pack. I kind of like jamming Josh up from here and trying to use these clusters against him to slow him down. So I like to bank the 1 up in there with a bunch of inside to come on top of the 4. Tries to clear them both. Does a really good job. Nice shot for Danny Jensen. Josh wants to move the furniture. Just going up table. Yep, trying to either get behind that 1 or treetop him. He's a little bit hampered there, but can still see. This is one. I'm just going to knock the 6 ball into that pack and come down to the foot rail. Nothing much doing down there. Can try and get cute with the 1, but I don't foresee much good coming from that. Yeah, I like knocking the 6 into that pack. If you have good cue ball control, I mean, you can back cut the 6 ball. You could play the 6 off the 10 and float behind the 7-9. Oh man, so tries to get all the way around there. Gets a double kiss. Gets pretty fortunate there. I don't think Josh has a cut on the 2 ball. I think he's got to bank the 5 if it's available, but it might not be. He might just be banking the 4. He's looking at it like there might be a cut here. Hard to tell how much room he has. If he had it, he'd be shooting it. So even if he can't make it, just wants to move these balls. I kind of like that shot. I think he's looking at playing off the 2-12 and then up table, kind of behind the 6-10. I hope he's just going to play the 8 and follow through. Knows the 8's coming back on his side. Gets the cue ball up on top of the table. Gets 1 ball out of there. That frees up the 4 ball to kind of be a break ball for you. He's still got a chance at this 6-10 to get behind the 7-11, and the reason I say use the 10 is it helps you cut the ball, and B, it helps control the angle coming off to get behind there. If you can float in there, you can kind of stick Josh in a pretty tough spot. Because things are starting to open up for him, and the threat is far greater. He is looking at doing something with the 6 ball. Trickiest part of this is, I mean, you just can't move those balls. If you nudge anything free, it can open up real quick. Yeah, I like lining up the cut off the 10 with the 6, but then kind of forgetting about making that ball. Alright, banking it up in the stack. Taking his 4 away, and again, that's ugly little cluster there for Josh Roberts. Josh might be banking this 5 ball back at his hole. He's got a nice little slip line right through there. He says, why would I do that when I can open these balls up? It's starting to open up. Yeah, so the offensive risk there wasn't worth wasn't worth taking. With all those balls clustered, it's pretty tough for him to make something happen from there. 6 ball and following it straight through. Good controlled shot. Almost gets to the foot rail. Nice shot there for Danny Jensen. Alright, getting the 1 back on his side. Likes to leave him in the spot. He knows there's nothing really doing for him offensively from there. And this is kind of the cat and mouse of one pocket, where he's really trying to force Danny to make a mistake, and limiting his offensive options mean he's kind of always shooting defensively. And you just kind of bide your time here until he makes a mistake. I don't see much he can do. I mean, Josh would like him to kick under here at the 2-12 and start opening stuff up for him. Looks like he's just planning on thinning off of something. Yeah, until you have something on your side, there's no threat. No bank lane. Yeah, it's tough action here. Alright, so plays off that 10, gets a rail, and that opens things up pretty well. I don't think Josh can see to cut that 2, so I think he's going to be banking. But this is, I mean, pretty exciting shot after what you've been seeing. Well, got to get this cue ball out of the way. It looks like that cue ball and the 10 are lined up barely high side of that pocket, which means the double kiss is close. So Josh has got to figure out how he's going to get this cue ball out of the way. The other thing you can do is just bank it to get close and not make it. Tries to use speed to get around it and not able to. Catches the double kiss. I mean, Danny Jensen with a chance here. I like banking this 10 ball and coming up between the 6-5. Yeah, if you... Okay, he's still thinking defensively. Banking the 2. Almost gets it off the 10. That was a nice shot, moving those balls. Partially obstructed by the 9. Josh has kind of got to just kick this 2 ball out of there. Unless there's something I'm missing. Which with Josh Roberts, there oftentimes is. Had the pleasure of commentating with Josh here with Railbirds, and he's just a fantastic mind for one pocket. Got a lot of respect for his game. Got to spend a little bit of time with him out there at Derby, and he's a pretty impressive player. So, let's see what he has in mind. Every time I call a shot and Josh does it, I'm like, oh, all right, maybe I am thinking right. But I don't call it right very often. He's just going to play under that 2. Gets contact, leaves him in the hole. That's a very nice shot. Beautiful control. Yeah, and Danny's in a spot. Really doesn't want to move that 2 ball. Josh kind of forces him to. I mean, he doesn't. I would do anything but move the 2 ball here. I would definitely be shooting to try and get behind that 9 again. But moves the 2. Leaves Josh on the rail. Does a good job with that. Josh trying to figure out how he can get back in a position where Danny's firing at something. Yep, so getting them all the way back up table. And you kind of see that same line of things. He's obstructing the bank lanes, and just leaving him in that tricky position where he always feels like he's got to get under Josh's balls. Yeah, and it's hard to do anything from there. He can bank this 4 ball. The 9 right there makes it tough So you got to figure out how you're going to get the cue ball out of the way if you're going to do that. But if you can bank this 4 and control the... Okay, he just wanted to push through it. Gets it to his side. And that's kind of clean in house for Josh, so he doesn't mind. I don't think banking the 8 is really going to end up being worth it. He's looking at the 7. Just trying to get him right on that 2 ball. Again, putting Danny in that same position. I'm just waiting for things to open up. He needs 5. Danny needs all 8. Kind of thinning off the 6. I get anxious with these. I just feel like Danny's got to swing at something. But there hasn't been a great opportunity here. And it's tricky in there. I don't see the shot. Okay, gonna play off the backside of this 15 and roll down. Making sure to get past that 9 ball. Good shot. If we've seen how Josh is planning on playing this, he's probably gonna play off the 10 ball. So cue ball going right at that 10. Or right at the 2, sorry. 10 gets through, but he sells the 2 ball. So, the question is, what can he do with this 2? It'd sure be nice to punch out for that 6-4. I don't think the 6 passes the 4. Phase 1, make 2 ball. Step 2, get wide enough for the 4. He's really going to have to punch that ball to get over there. The last thing you want to do is try and muscle this long cut. So, the tendency with this when you want to go wide is to end up overcutting this ball. And again, you're not really drawing here, you're just punching. Hits it good, punches it over there beautifully, but that's about as wide as you can get. So it doesn't sacrifice the shot make to get wide. Gets a ball out of it, but unfortunately doesn't really gain a whole lot more. I like banking the 13-9 here and rolling forward. Got to make sure that 13 comes high. Got to make sure the cue ball stays on the inside of that 10. And he hit it soft enough to leave it there. Almost makes that ball. Unfortunately leaks the cue ball. And that's going to give Josh exactly what he needs. So that's kind of what these better players would like to do, is wait until there's a little offensive opportunity. See Danny there, able to execute well making that ball, but not able to get out, and all of a sudden sells an opening for Josh, and Josh is a lot more confident that he's going to run 5 than Danny's going to run 8, so clips that ball, kind of puts it right back. Combo's on, but staring at that combo with the 9 ball sitting there is tougher than it needs to be. Misses it wide. All right. Danny Jensen, you got action. Really want to figure out exactly where you want to be on this 9 ball. 3 balls ahead is a pretty great way to play one pocket and reassess on every time. So figure out where you want to be on the 9 to get on that 3rd ball. Ooh. And it seems like that's okay, but unfortunately, instead of getting 2 or 3 out of that, you're just going to get 1. Josh going to knock that 12 ball in the 9 up table. All right, ball count 4-2, Josh's lead. I don't like banking the 6. I don't really like playing off the 11 either, because it's a long reach. You're really close to the rail. I kind of like playing off the 5 here. I think I might play some low outside off the 5. I want to come in contact with the ball. I'd probably shoot it at the 8 and come back down to the foot rail. Looks like he's shooting. He wants to get the 6 ball on his side. He hit that ball good. Oh man, it's in the pocket. What a shot there. Danny Jensen firing that bank in. Not any payout. Getting stuck behind the 7 ball. Man. It's like he can try and do something with the 9 and get it towards his hole, but that's... You've got to do a lot of work with cue ball. I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to run off the 7 down table. There's too much of a threat there. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. So just thin off the left side of that 7, roll yourself down table. Negative, looking at the 9. If he's trying to weave this between that 8-4... Yeah, so he was just trying to double him up here, but I don't like doubling him up here. It's a free shot for Josh. I don't think that... Yeah, Josh acknowledging that he shot one in for him. So taking the back cut on the 8. Undercuts it. Real close though. I don't really like that shot. I would rather play the combo for that because you don't sell anything. You're not going to sell the 5 ball. And at this point, I mean, you just gave a dead bank to Danny Jensen. And Danny's in this. We're still at 0-0. The last thing you want is for him to take down this first game and get some momentum. Fires that ball. Oh, barely misses. Catches a couple points and gives Josh kind of the same shot that he just took. Gotta like Josh to make this ball. Few days of banks leading up to this. Swish. Beautiful. I think you can stiff this 9. Looks like he's got a cut on the 13. Oh, the Z bank. Wow, look at that. Filthy. And that's just a devastating shot. Yeah, leave something in the hole. He's dead hooked behind the 5. All you can really do here is, I mean, play that 5 off the side rail. You can go offensive. You can try and bank this 9 and run out. And honestly, I like you if you do that. That's, you know, you're in trouble if you're just making his balls and not making something happen. So he says, forget that. I'm taking my shot. Made a couple banks already. Oh, and that 9 ball barely hangs. Great effort. But that's all Josh is going to need. Play this combo. Probably come up behind the 5. Yeah, so not risking, I mean, putting something down there, having it be in the way. Just going to push through this through the... Oh, I would have thought he'd go forward. Draws right around it. 4 ball to close. It's game number 1. Goes in Josh Roberts' favor. Excellent shooting. Danny Jensen's got some firepower, though. He is not helpless out there shooting against Josh. So good shooting for him as well. This is Josh's break. And this is Somerfield Habener with Railbirds Productions. Thanks so much for tuning in out there. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, liking what you're hearing, you're into Derby City action, Railbirds brings it all to you. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're going to let you know every time we go, every time we bring in a new match from Derby City. I like to say go live, but this has already happened. Railbirds pumping out a ton of Derby City matches, and it's so much fun. If you guys haven't been to this tournament, watching the matches is fun, but you just can't get a feel of the event itself without being there. I encourage every player out there to go check it out at least once in their life. This is a Diamond-sponsored event, and it's the best pool tournament in the world. I love it. One of the largest gathering of professional pool players that there is. All right, pretty nice break there. Yeah, you're not going to try and make too much happen. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a rail, so he was trying to kick into the 14. Oh, Josh says it hit on the way in. Okay. Well, that's great. Danny just kind of making sure that he didn't foul there. I couldn't tell what happened. So Josh probably not super happy with where he got on that break, but after that third shot here, feeling a lot better about it. He's got 2 in his corner, he's got 1 high, and he's pinned in the stack. So that's what you want your opponent to be looking like, is just staring at this thing like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. You can play off the 11, just get low so you avoid the cut. You can try and kick around a couple rails into the 14, but you're getting into risky business. That's what he's looking at. Can take a foul, but it's kind of a losing game. I like how Danny plays. I like that. I mean, he doesn't like it, but he's going to take his chances. Look at that bridge in there, right in the middle of the pack. Playing the 2-rail kick, gets underneath it, but not making legal contact. Looking around for a coin to mark by his pocket. He owes one. Josh looks like he's looking at this bank on the 12, but... Oh, never mind. On the 9. Yeah, I didn't think he could see the right side of the 12. And the 9, making sure he gets around the 12 ball. Gets it in a good spot, but doesn't really protect it. This is a chance here for Danny. Boy, you got to be real careful, though. You got to map out what you want to do. He's taking a look at the stack. Probably the 11 off the 7 ball. Can't tell if it goes, but I have a feeling Danny might have played some straight pool in his time. He can see a lot of spots on these 3 balls. Yeah, I kind of like playing something firm here to get rid of them. And that changes things dramatically. He gives up a ball, but takes away Josh's advantage. That's a pretty effective shot. Josh taking his ball. I don't see anything with the stack. Looks like just playing this 1 rail back at his hole. And it gets high enough, so protects that ball. Doesn't really matter, it didn't get all that close. As long as that ball's on his side, very cuttable from a lot of the table. And that puts Danny in a spot. I'm going to use the 6 ball here, so I like firing. I think some players are going to play the 6 off the 12 or at the 12 to try and do something with that. You can also shoot this ball at the stack. I just am going to try and get it out of there. Well, he drills a 2-railer, just not the right one. That ball's going to spot up. Could take a second because that's in the middle of traffic. Derby City, you're spotting the ball, and you're just spotting as close to the next ball as you can, because disturbing that other ball is arguably a foul. So, getting that ball on the center line as close to the other ball as you can. Josh has a 3-railer at the pack. That 6 ball looks interesting off the 9. Yeah, I think he would rather protect his advantage on the 12 as opposed to shoot that ball. So clip off there, opens up the 9 ball, still gets back in the crook. Great shot. And yeah, you definitely dramatically impact Danny's offensive opportunities here and defensive opportunities. Just not a lot of the table he can shoot at. Yep, playing off the 11 and trying to get low. I like that. I think that's about all you got here. Shooting off the 6 is real tricky. Yeah, I like what he was looking at, jacking up and shooting off this 11 ball and getting down to the foot rail. You'd like to not cut this ball too much and open too much up for him. That worked out pretty well. So I think Josh is probably going to just back cut this 12, not even to make it, just to get it closer, and probably go up table, trying to sit on that. I believe it's the 15 ball. He might Z-bank it though. Man, does he Z-bank effectively. Has enough to cut it, cuts it in the hole, man, and finds a pocket with the cue ball. So bummer there. Yeah, that's going to spot up, and that's going to be... Did Josh have one? He must have. Oh, he's got a spot 2, that's right. He made that ball. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, they're all there. So yeah, he had 1. Again, if he had had 0 at that point and would have scratched, they wouldn't have both been at -1. That would have gone to 0-0. New rule here at Derby City Classic this year, and it's an interesting one. I like it. It didn't impact anything for me during my matches, but it was... I like that. It helps speed things up. It definitely changes the way that you treat taking fouls, though. There's less... less impact for taking those fouls, so it's interesting to see how players played that. Danny Jensen here with a pretty decent shot. I mean, you can't force yourself to do too much with this 4 ball. So you're really just thinking about the shot after this, what you're going to do. Looks like he's trying to slide over a little bit. That 6-8 looks pretty wired. And if you can force yourself to get behind this 9-2, it looks like the 9-2-3-8-6 has some kind of future. So, step 1, let's make this ball. Yeah, and I can't explain to you how much harder that shot is in 1 pocket than it is in 9 ball. And it's obviously not, and that sounds like a silly thing to say, but you step up to make that ball, and it is. It's just like straight pool. Until you get out of your head and back into shooting mode, that ball is always going to be harder to make. Yeah, so if somebody missed that 9 ball, we'd be stunned, but somehow in 1 pocket, you can kind of see it coming. Just banking this 4 ball. He might be banking it at the stack. The 6-14 looks pretty wired. The 1-3 looks like it has a future. Just banking it. Gets up high. That's a good shot. He's got... I mean, you have a chance to take a shot on this 11. You can bank this 11 and get on the far side of the table, probably not selling a shot, but it doesn't get you too much, you know? You're shooting for 1. You need 9. That's probably not worth the risk. But if you don't see anything naturally defensive, maybe that's what you do. Yeah, but again, even if you make this ball, you're kind of just back in the same position you're in now. Looks like he wants to run around with it. I'm definitely drawing this and keeping my cue ball down table. Yeah, I would have tried to hit that table or hit that ball about 6 feet softer. Leaves a cut on the 9 ball. Josh going to try and draw right between that 13-2, opens up the pack. Stay out of the way, 2 ball. Alright, so I think that cuts off 4 ball. I think he's got to play the 2-4 right now. But not a huge risk here. I think he'll stay low with the 12. All right, shooting the bank on the 10. And that Josh kind of acknowledging his advantage in this game and just saying, why am I going to give that up for a ball that just might not go? So maintains his advantage, puts another ball by his pocket, sticks Danny in a tough spot. Danny might have a bank on this 10, though. If he can see straight through to the 10, he can control the cue ball enough to stay high side of the 8. That's the shot. Yeah, if you can't see that whole ball, though. Right, so he's going to try the 115 and try and stick on the, or that's what he was looking at, and stick on the 7. Trouble with that is if the 15 doesn't get low enough, it's going to open things back up. Playing the 13, good controlled shot there, right through the window, almost gets right behind that 4 ball. Good shot. See what Josh is thinking. Playing off the 4 ball and right behind the pack. I think that's such a beautiful touch shot. He made that look so easy. And I mean, you just barely see that 4 ball move. Gets right on those balls. Beautiful shot for Josh Roberts. And Danny's back in trouble. I mean, you see how different this shot is because he's on that 7 ball. If he had that whole 5 ball available, he would just, his world would look entirely different. But he's on that 7, got to do something with the 13, taking a way bigger swing. And yeah, that's not going to cut it. All right. 10 ball, I don't think he'll try and get on the 2 here. He does. Yep, plays into those balls, loosens things up. Again, nothing coming easy right now. 7-8-3. Seeing how that looks. I think that's kind of the ball to use. You're either going to use the... No, he's looking at the 14. Yeah, because this comes into a pretty safe line right at the 6-8. Doesn't make the ball and does sell a cut. But puts the pressure on here for Danny Jensen. A 2 to -1 lead, and Danny's got a shot here. So cut the 6 ball. Looks like he's going right at the 1. So 6 to the 12 ball next. If he comes wide of that, he can play the combo. At this point, you just got to pocket balls. Got to make that ball. Oh. Heartbreaker. Yeah, it's easy to step up and just shoot that ball a little too fast. End up undercutting it. Looks like Josh is going to play the combo. Keeps the 4 down there. Ties the 2 ball back up. And he's pretty straight on this 4. Not ideal. He's going to have to put a stroke on this. So, cheats the pocket. Comes around for the 3 next. He had a little more angle than I thought he did. He's either going to fire this and push through to make sure he gets on the 2, or he's going to try and go top, trying to miss clip on the 6. Clips the 6, but pushes it a little too far left. And kind of back to stuck. Yeah, I think he'd think more about the 6 ball if it wasn't 9 feet away from him being able to reach it. Doesn't want to leave the 6 ball bankable for his opponent. Yeah. So just getting that 6 ball out of there, not wasting too much mental energy, just knocking it out of there and leaving nothing for Danny to shoot at. Josh remembering to mark his game there. Always a good thing to stay on top of. Danny looking at squeezing this 5 ball between there, and that's a tough shot. Gets through traffic well, though. Gets the 5 by his pocket. That's a pretty effective shot. Doesn't have a good line on the 12. He's got a 2-rail on the 13. Looks like he's thinning off. Okay, trying to make that 2-ball. Huh. That was definitely a swing. So, unfortunately not able to convert. Unfortunately for Danny, that ball doesn't count for him either. So, that ball comes up. Josh spots one. He's back to 4. 6, 9, 10. Wait. Yep, 11 up, 4-0. Josh trying to force that ball to go. I'm not sure if it goes in that line. It must. All right. 7-ball. Just want to stop this ball, get it, leave yourself a good angle on the 12. I like Danny's game, wasting no time. He's made that shot a million times. No reason he shouldn't now. Question here is if you stay on top the 1 or if you float down for the 8. I like the 1 next because it's easier to get from the 1 to the 8 than the 8 to the 1. Playing down for the 8. And he's got a great line here. No reason he shouldn't get there. Yep, taking a look at where he wants to be. The other shot here is to leave yourself the bank for the 2-ball, which you're probably going to have to do after the 1. I kind of like leaving myself the 2-ball after the 8 here. Your other option here is to fire this 8, draw up, and try and make contact with those balls. And I think that's, if you're going to get aggressive, that's the way to do it. All right. Going to have to spot one here. And Josh is dead in on the 2-ball. 9. Thought he owed one. I think they might have forgotten about that. So anyway, here we are, 5-3. Nope. 5-2. There we go. Back cut on the 8 goes. He needs 2. Floats all the way up behind that 6-ball. 6 is pretty dead in. Easy cut here for Josh Roberts. Make sure he gets up and off that rail for the 15. All right. That's going to take down game number 2 for Josh Roberts, leading against Danny Jensen at the 2023 Derby City Classic. This is first round action. So it's a tough draw, Danny. I know you can shoot some pool, but when you see Josh Roberts next to your name, it's not an easy thing. My name is Somerfield Habener, coming to you from Reupload Productions. Thank you so much for tuning in out there. We love having you. Hope you guys are enjoying this Derby City Classic action. I know I did. This is my favorite tournament in the world. I look forward to it every year. This is January in southern Indiana. These are my favorite games, my favorite players. So getting to talk with you guys about it is a lot of fun. Danny again, pretty far inside, clipping that back ball, and that break can just be trouble. I think he wants to push out a little further towards the rail there. Not sure if Josh can draw around for this 3. Looks like he can. Little clip, gets real straight. I think he's kind of got to force himself to draw back to the rail he's on and spin out. Just going to lay up for the bank. So just banking this 12-ball at his hole. Oh, maybe not. He sees something in the stack. So just knocking the 14-9 over there, staying low. Yeah, I mean, I think I probably would have liked to have taken the 12 ball there, but that's just a way less, or a way more cautious way of approaching the game. Josh likes these balls open. He's got an advantage already in this game. He's up 2-0. He's leading in game count 2-0. Yeah, he'd like the balls to be open and offensive threat to be there. Danny Jensen trying to fire this bank in. Barely missing. Josh has a funky 2-railer on the 8 that I don't think he'll shoot. Looks like looking at playing off the 4 and under the 14. If you're playing that, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to play off the 1. But I see maybe thinking he wants to open those balls up a little more. So, again, that seems like a really dangerous shot. Like, why would he take that risk? But pinning somebody between those two balls is such a detriment to your options. And that was a real pretty controlled shot. Didn't realize he had that lane right through the 7. Let's see what Danny can do here. He can thin off the 1. Yeah, that's a pretty nice shot. Unfortunately, still sells a bank on the 12. It's hard to get safe from there unless you come all the way back down and in the pack. That's a tough one to control. I like the 12 either into the 9 or off the back side of the 9. He plays it off the back of the 14. Doesn't get there. It looks like Danny might have a line to back cut this 10 ball and get between the 1-9. If he can get through that line, this is a pretty free shot and a good chance to put Josh in a tough spot. Grabbing his extension. It's a serious extension. Oh, it's the tube. That's what it is. Just got to make sure you get through those balls. Clipping the 1 can be real dangerous. Gets away with it. Overhits it just a little bit. I would have wanted to hit that ball a little softer. Closer you get to that pocket, the more deadly it can be. Josh might play the 9-10 combo bank here. He also... Just going off there. You just see those balls marry right up. Yeah, that's a pretty tough shot. Danny's got a shot on the 4 ball here. He's got a 2-railer. And if you can 2-rail this ball and either just roll over to the rail or roll all the way back into the pack, this can be really effective. Yeah, kind of got to shoot this ball. Trying to come down to the rail. The trouble is that sells a bank. You just can't play against these pros. Like, those banks aren't wired. And Josh is just gonna probably try to fire this 12 ball right in. I don't think he's gonna worry too much about the 10 ball. He might be looking at the combo. Yeah, I mean, that's barely even touches a rail. Spins right in. Don't think you can see the 5 ball. 11-8 doesn't look like it goes. Straight through to the 10. Just knocking the ball back in there. Yeah, trying to shake things up a little bit, seeing what he can make happen. Still nothing free and clear for Josh. Three-railer on the 13 is available. You can thin off the 1 and just put him back in the stack. And that might be what I'd like to do. I really want to start pinning Josh in some positions and make him do a little more work. Just looking at playing off the 9. I don't think he's Okay, so he was trying to bank it. Unfortunately, didn't get that ball to turn. Comes back in the stack. Frees up the 15 for Josh. Josh is dead on that rail, though. Josh has got a pretty free bank on the 13 or a kick. Seen a lot more players kick at this 13 just to control the speed. Pretty easy kick and stick there. Looks like he's lining up to bank it. And again, gets it high enough that he doesn't sell a return bank on the 13. That's kind of why I like the kick there, is you can stick a little more, and I feel like you can leave that 13 a little easier without selling a shot. Leaves Danny a nice bank here on the 1. He also has a bank on the 4 if he likes it, but the 1's a little more free. Hopefully you can push through. If you make it, leave yourself a bank on the 15 next. And from there, things can start to peel apart pretty quick. That's a great shot. Gotta make those banks. I want to bank this 15 ball, and I honestly don't care if I make it. I just want to make sure it gets between the side pocket and the 4 ball, and that I leave that cue ball dead on the 14. So I'm going to cinch draw this, sit right on that 14 ball. Looks like he wants to carry forward. Well, almost gets between the gap. Gets all the way down to the head rail, though. That's very effective. Well, Danny Jensen on the board. Josh with a 3-1 lead here. Up 2-0 in the game count. So again, just knocking off the top side of this 15, letting the cue ball drift down to the foot rail. I tried to play off the other side, and that was why I didn't want to do that. Unfortunate scratch there for Josh Roberts. Spotted up. I mean, it doesn't cost him too much, but that's an unnecessary scratch. Looking at moving the 15 ball. Looking to see. I guess he's looking at the 4. There's a world that I shoot this 4 ball, but I would rather bank the 15 and come back up for the 4. So it's a little freer shot. This, you got a great shot at making the 4 ball, but probably not a lot to follow up with. And you risk missing it and selling out. Kind of gets away with it there. I think you're probably going to see the 7-4 combo here. Josh has a great shot at 7-4, using the 10 to slow his speed and just hanging right on that 12. He just pushes right through it, trying to make it. Well, not... I mean, he's just kind of freewheeling here. He wasn't too concerned with that, but sells an opportunity here for Danny Jensen. 7, try to get on this 4 ball. What you don't want to do is get under the 14-15. You can use the 14, but you want to stay on the left side of it. Get stuck down there, yeah. And that's why you can get stuck down there real easy. All of a sudden you got a back cut on this 4 that looks a lot more daunting. Fortunately, things seem to have wired against Josh here on his side. Yeah, you got to take this shot. Go right into that 5-13. Pretty sure your 11-8-10 all go. Just got to make sure you hit a controlled shot here and make this 4 ball. All right. Unfortunately, not going for him. Josh is looking at a combo here. I don't think anything else goes for him. He's either banking the 14. Josh gives him his ball. Yeah, the combo's a lot riskier. I'm just going to bank the 14 ball here, hope I make it, and I got the 11 next. He's looking at the back cut on the 11. It's going awful close to that corner pocket. Beautiful control. Not quite doubled up behind the 11. That's going to let Danny get to it, but a good shot. Excellent attempt there for Josh Roberts. Yeah, nothing doing offensively here. You can try and two-rail this 9 ball. It does go around the 8, but... And you might be thinking, well, the 615 is not dead on, but he's got a backboard there with his ball. You just got to move that ball. Or just give it to him. That's a great way to eliminate an offensive threat there. Josh might try to bank this 4. Very twistable here. Caught the point. Yeah, it's a tight shot for sure. Danny. I kind of like doing something with the 11 right now. I feel like I can get it on my side, and if I can double him up on the 4, fires at the 2-railer. Knows he doesn't have a straight cut. Probably going to see him shoot this 615. Seemed like Josh was really trying to get to that other side of things so he didn't sell if it was a mistake. That's one where I'm probably going to buckle down and really try to make that ball as opposed to worry about getting safe. I know it's only 3-2, but you're up 2-0. If you make that ball, that rack is pretty much yours. I don't know why he's looking at anything other than the 11-6 right now. 11-6 combo is available. You can get under the 14-4. You can gain a real offensive opportunity here. Obviously, the 12 ball banks. And yeah, it gets him up behind the 15 or the 13-5. Josh, kind of a free bank here. And that gets him on this open side. So yeah, banking on the 15. Ooh, swish. Nice shot. Probably gonna take the 9. He doesn't mind jacking up a little bit on this. I definitely just want to roll this ball down, but he's gonna fire it. And I just feel like I lose so much accuracy with that little bit of elevation that's one where I'm gonna roll. It didn't seem like he had to elevate. I mean, you got to be able to make those shots when you need them, but I feel like he could have rolled down for the 14 there. This is one where I want to play off this 11, and I want to get under the 14, on the 14. I mean, I really want to push to bury him on that. If he can't access my 612, I'm in a pretty good position, and you really can turn this game around. Alright, so limiting his access to those balls. Josh gonna take a bank on this 9 ball. He knows he can leave him a back cut on the 6 if anything. Never mind, he's gonna roll all the way down. I like that shot. Looks like he might have left Danny open on the 14 ball. Yeah, again, Danny wants to do... I don't want to move the 6. This is your ball. If I move the 6, I want to do everything I can to protect my 12. Yeah, I like 6 off the top side rail there and then back under the 14. He's looking at the 11. 11 might have a 2-railer. Looking at the 9. Yeah, and a little more speed on that shot gets you Gets you a lot. Josh might play a similar shot that he did last time, just off the 3 or off the 9 ball, carry down under the 612. We're off the top side of the... Okay, just clearing that out. 3 railer. Man. It's had to steal somebody's offensive opportunity and break their heart right there. Yeah, that... I don't like doing something with the 14 here. This bank is so risky. Yeah, unfortunately making that one for Josh. It was really tight. And again, this is round 1. These tables are still pretty slippery. The reason I mention it is just trying to twist those balls. Short rail like that is tough. He didn't really have an angle going into it, so you're doing that all with generated spin from the cue ball. That's tough action. Josh with a pretty free bank here on the 6. That might slip in. It doesn't. It's probably better that it doesn't. And Danny's in trouble. Try to... Maybe he's trying to play off the 11, looking at making the 6. I think that 4 is in the way. You got to go offensive here. You do not have an easy way to get to that 6. I guess you can kick the 6 in off the side rail. But I think even at this point, you got to do something offensive. And you don't want to. I mean, this is the time when you'd love to play safe. You'd love to duck for cover, but Josh needs 3 balls to win this set. You need 6. That 6 ball is buried. You know he's going to get a few more if he can get to it. Yeah. I think you're either back cutting the 8 ball here or you're banking the 9. Get in the hole, double kiss it. Oh, man, I thought it was going to double kiss it in there. You really just didn't have a choice there. Unless you want to kick the 6 in, and that's a good shot. But yeah, 6 is going to get him on the 4. 4, probably to the 12 ball. Pretty easy to get on the 12 or the 11 from there. Opens him up, needs 1. Josh Roberts, 1 to go, taking this set down 3-0 against Danny Jensen here at the 2023 Derby City Classic. My name is Somerfield Habener. I'm here with Railbirds Productions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in out there. We got tons more Derby City action. Yeah, check out the Railbirds TV page. We got all kinds of Derby action. Again, this is round 1, so a bunch more one pocket coming your way. Thanks for tuning in.